Hi guys, welcome to my guide for the entire Highmaul heroic raid dungeon. In this video I will go over everything you enter raid needs to know for defeating all encounters. I won't just go over the abilities but also the strategy we use to defeat the bosses. Okay, let's start with the first boss, Kargath Blade Fist. This boss only has 3 important abilities, all the rest is just don't stand in the fire type of abilities. I will mark those abilities in the video so you can clearly see the animation. The first one is Berserker Rush. The boss will fixate on a player and that player has to run over one of the 4 pillars with the boss to stop the Berserk Rush. The second one is for the tanks. There's a debuff called Impale. Right before Impale, use a cooldown. Taunt on 2 stacks. The third ability is Chain Hurl. As soon as the boss does a pushback, you know that Chain Hurl is starting. He will pick the 5 closest players and throws them on top of the arena where they have to clear mobs. You want the 5 closest players to be the tank with 2 debuffs, a healer and 3 DPS. Don't forget to spread out on the fight, this will help avoiding multiple people getting hit with AoE abilities. That's it for this boss, let's go to the next one.
Space roll, to be honest, man.
DPS is quite
Yeah. Space roll with the DPS is
What the fuck, my beef? No.
Cut the fuck.
I have so much UI all over my screen. Oh my god, the blaze is
rare to
Oh,
get up
it's
to
heroic.
4K, guys.
Bonus
the
roll.
blaze is so it's actually bro. With X.
Okay, so the next fight is a butcher. The tanks have to stand close to each other or on top of each other and taunt on 2 stacks. As you can see, we splitted our 20-man raid up in 2 groups. Without our tanks, we have 18 raiders. So we put 9 players in each group, 9 on red and 9 on green. We have all the melee on green and all the ranged on red, but even the numbers out. The boss will cleave the group that has the most players in on melee. So if you want the boss to cleave the green group, you make sure that 1 player on red runs out, so red has 8 players and green has 9 players. If you want to switch, red gets 9 people and 1 player in green runs out, so they have 8 people. Every time he cleaves, he puts a debuff on the group. You can only have 4 stacks of this debuff. When the boss reaches 100 energy, he does a pushback. After that, he will charge to a spot where the most amount of ranged are stacked up. And they give them 1 more cleave stack. So you should make sure that the ranged, the red group in this video, gets 3 stacks and the melee, the green group, gets 4 stacks. During the pushback, melee runs immediately back to the green marker and the range stacks up in range to soak the cleave, the purple marker in the video. At 30% the boss enrages and that's where you use heroism. That's it for this fight and time for the next boss.
Healthstones for the rear guys. Destabilize.
Devo just for whatever.
I'm using mine again.
Personals now.
I'm for cooldown.
Switch off to next. Keep yourself alive, guys. Switch. I think
Don't
this is
stop,
good.
stop,
Come on.
Kill him.
Holy shit.
How many
Oh,
stacks
touch
was
of
that?
death.
Like, did you get your touch of death off?
Yeah, really close.
Oh my god. This place is
Scares me hard.
it's
Okay, so the next boss is Tectus. This is my favorite one. When you start the fight, he will spawn ads until he splits up in two. Give those ads DPS priority. As soon as he is splitted, he won't spawn ads anymore. So the boss will split into 2 medium bosses, and those 2 medium bosses can each split into 4 small ones when you kill them. The DPS priority is first the main boss, then kill 1 medium boss, so you have 1 medium left and 4 small ones. Then kill all the small ones. You will have 1 medium left. Kill the medium, he will spawn into 4 small ones again, and then finish those 4 small ones off to kill the boss. Each boss has the same abilities, so the more bosses are up, the more times you will see those abilities. Put the ranged in one group together and tell them to move to the left as soon as they see a big circle on the ground. It will cause a pillar of rocks to spawn on that location, and anyone standing in it will die. Ranged will also be targeted by red smoke. Those players have to move right, so circle on the ground. When there's a circle on the ground, you move to the left, and when there's red smoke on the ground, you move to the right, or you do it the opposite way, that's up to you. Melee, be careful for small circles on the ground and the red smoke as well. Melee has to focus on not standing in things, and that's it, but that's really crucial. When any boss reaches 100% energy, you will cast raid AoE damage. Pop a raid cooldown if needed. The first boss and the 2 medium bosses can only be killed while he is casting his ultimate ability, which he does at 100% energy. The small ones, they can always die. Use heroism when there's 1 medium and 4 small ones alive, because this is the most hectic part of the encounter. During this phase, simply focus on avoiding damage and it should be fine. Good luck all, and let's go to the next boss.
And don't stand close to melee if you're ranged, because if there gets any big rocks placed there, it's kind of good.
Bar, red gun speedo, and bar bar. This is good.
yeah, just stay up with my
We should move them.
move around, guys.
Okay, range, follow them, but stay stacked and don't.
Oh, careful.
There's a hook. No,
Gonna raid damage now, raid damage.
both of them, both of them.
shot.
Shit, that was
That
so
was fun.
funny. Holy
You know,
that was
all that
so
fucking
cool.
thing and then we're like wiping.
This was way easier.
Okay, so this boss is Brackenspore. You need 2 players to pick up the flamethrowers. Their task is to burn down any moss that spawns from the sides of the room. When the boss stands in the moss, it will heal him. When you stand in it, you will get damaged. They need to be on this job the entire fight. I recommend taking 2 ranged who are very mobile, like mages. Don't take melee for this unless you have no other choice. For the tanks, you have to watch out for necrotic breath. He will breathe on anyone who's standing in front of him, which should only be 1 tank. While standing in it, you take 99% less healing and you take a lot of damage. To survive this, you need to use cooldowns and be healed up to maximum health before it starts. Another trick is to do the taunt switch in the middle of the breath. So the first tank runs out halfway of the breath, so the damage is split on both tanks. But be careful, you're not both standing in front of it. But there is also another tank debuff to watch out for. Just taunt as soon as this debuff has run out. Okay, for the rest of the boss, you can spawn 3 mushrooms. 1 enemy mushroom and 2 helpful mushrooms. You need to kill the bad mushroom as soon as possible. And he will spawn a helpful green mushroom or a helpful blue mushroom. To benefit from their effects, you need to heal those mushrooms to full health. When a green mushroom is activated, it will heal the raid for massive amounts so that you cannot die. When a blue mushroom is activated, the raid gets 30% haste and infinite mana. Except for the mushrooms, you can also spawn 2 types of adds. Spore shooters are plants that shoot out spores, which are basically bombs, who explode on anyone near them. If you don't want them to explode on a raid, make sure that 1 player is standing in the path between the ad and the raid to soak the bomb, the spore, by himself. The damage is the same. Kill these as soon as possible. The highest DPS priority, however, goes to the big ad that spawns. DPS him down as soon as you can, because this ad is constantly casting a spell, and when he manages to cast it, it will do around 100k AoE damage. He needs to be interrupted the entire time, so figure out an interrupt rotation. Another boss ability is infesting spores. That will just do more and more AoE damage until it reaches 10 stacks. Try to line this ability up with healing a green mushroom to make it very easy to heal. It's not needed to do that though, but it helps. That's it for this boss. Good luck guys, and let's go to the next one.
Good job.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Oh, I forgot to fraps. Sorry, dude.
This boss is called Twin Ogron. Both bosses have an energy bar. They will both cast an ability at 33%, 66% and 100% energy. So it's important for your raid leader to keep track of both energy bars and call out what ability is coming next. There is no need to tank switch on this boss, so just tank them both close to each other for as much as possible cleave damage. Let's start with Femos. At 33% he will cast Whirlwind, forcing your tank to move him away from the raid so he does a giant cleave away from everyone. Mark a spot where your tank can move and make sure nobody will stand there. At 66% he will shout. You need to stand within 20 yards of the boss to share the damage with as much people as possible. You also get an increased damage taken debuff. So basically stack up within 20 yards of the boss to receive the debuff. At 100% energy he throws both of his weapons that will create a lot of moving fire on the ground. Everybody needs to focus on avoiding this fire but stand close to the healers as well. Now about Paul. At 33% he will cast Shield Charge. He randomly charges to someone. You can almost ignore this mechanic. If you can, try to avoid standing in his path. At 66% you will cast an interrupting shout. If you are casting while it's finished, you are silenced for 6 seconds. This is important for healers. Call this out so your healers know when to stop healing when the shout is about to finish. At 100% he casts his ultimate. It has 3 different abilities. The first one is to spread out 3 yards. If you are not spread 3 yards, you will die from the damage. The second one is to avoid circles on the ground. And the third one is just don't stand near the boss, because he will cast some kind of cleave near him. That's it for this fight. Remember, their energy bars don't go up equally, so it may happen that you receive certain combos, for example the interrupt shout from Paul combined with a whirlwind from Femos. Avoid as much damage as possible, and this boss is very easy. All you need to do is focus on reducing damage taken. Good luck guys, let's go to the next one.
It just kills everyone, I think.
Right.
Oh,
Quick.
Christ. Should be dead though.
And fire.
Quick, now just dodge all the fire.
One hit now with the rage. Nice one.
Where are the cuts of them?
Oh no.
Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding?
Yes.
Rip.
Yeah.
Oh,
Trinket!
oh my god, the trinket.
Wow.
This is Korak, the next boss in Highmaul. This boss has a damage absorption shield on him. In order to DPS him down, you need to DPS down the shield first. Once the shield is down, he will move to the middle to recharge the shield. During that time, you should DPS him as hard as you can. While he is recharging, one player can go inside the circle he is standing in and charge up a damage absorption shield as well. It can only be one player per charging up phase, but this is a must. So assign an order of 4 people to charge up a shield each time he is in that phase. Those players will have to absorb explosions with their shield. You can only absorb it with that shield, nothing else works, not even bubble. If you have that shield, look for orbs that are slowly moving towards the ground. Stand on that place so they will hit you instead of the raid. If you fail to do that, the explosion will kill the raid, or almost kill the raid. That's the main mechanic you have to master. Now he also has 4 other abilities to watch out for. Expel Magic Frost is when he will spawn a frost orb that does AoE damage. Just move out of the way from that. It will slow you and it will do a lot of damage on you as well. When it's fire, you will get a debuff and you will explode when it runs out, so everybody needs to spread out as hard as possible. When it's arcane, it's just for the tanks. The tank who gets the debuff has to run away from everybody else, because he will do pulsing AoE damage on the ground, killing anyone standing near him. When it's shadow, the raid gets a healing absorption debuff, so just heal it up as soon as possible. Another tank mechanic is to pick up the adds while he is recharging. These can only be killed in the purple void zones that he leaves on the ground during the fight. Those don't do much damage, but they silence when you stand in them. That's it guys, good luck, and let's go to the next boss.
Adult's gonna do.
Do you
Here,
want up?
hear me.
Get out the middle, guys. Adult's so good.
Someone hero again, just for guard or something. Just
Yeah, there's
Is there a res?
I can't pick up the heads.
Kill
Adult's
boss. Just kill
still-
boss.
Go boss.
Easy.
Nice.
Good.
Good job, guys.
Good
Well
job,
done,
guys.
Really good
Nice.
job.
Wow. 50 seconds in the
Oh,
wall.
dagger, dagger dogs,
Oh my
dagger
god, the
dogs.
weapon!
The weapon.
Holy shit!
And that helmet.
Okay, this is the last boss in Highmaul, Imperator Mar'gok. Whatever. This boss is much more difficult than any of the other bosses. In fact, the footage you are seeing right now is our normal mode kill, not the heroic one. We haven't been able to kill this boss on heroic yet when I made this video. We are very close though. Okay, let's get into it. The boss has 5 basic abilities that will empower in different ways, so you need to deal with them slightly different in each phase. The abilities are Force Nova. He creates a growing ring that will do damage to anyone standing in the side of it. The longer you are in it, the more damage you take. He spawns an ad that does pulsing AoE damage. Kill this ad as soon as possible. Mark of Chaos is a tank ability. The tank who has this debuff has to run from the raid away because he will explode, killing anyone that's standing near him. Arcane Red is an orb that will jump between players. The more it jumps, the more damage it does. The more it jumps, the less further it can jump on the next one. We found it the easiest to assign 2 players to deal with this orb, and just use damage reduction cooldowns to soak and survive the damage from it. The last ability is that he will frequently spawn a zone on the ground that where anyone stands in, it will explode, causing raid-wide damage, almost killing you. This is where you will wipe on the most. We refer to them as mines. For the tanks, the boss gains a damage increase buff the longer he is tanking the same target, so you need to taunt frequently of each other. We aim to taunt on 4 stacks. Phase 1 he just uses the abilities I listed below. Then in phase 2 the boss does the same abilities, but the ring causes a pushback. When you kill the ad, you will also get a pushback. This is important to know because there will be mines on the ground and you can't get pushbacked in the mines. The Mark of Chaos tank will get teleported to a random location and has to move away from the raid from that point. Then he transitions. In this phase, in the transition phase, assign the tanks +1 range to kill the small ads that spawn near the boss. Careful, cause they do a lot of AoE damage to the entire raid. Single target them down and find the right pace. Kill the war mages, interrupt them as much as you can and run away from everyone else when you get fixated. Then it's phase 3. The same abilities here, but the main thing is that the tank cannot move with the Mark of Chaos debuff. We tank the boss in the middle, and when the tank had the debuff, we let the melee and off tank run out, let it explode, and then continue DPSing. Transition phase. This one is the same as before, but there spawns one more ad. Bring the melee ad near the small ads where the boss is tanking, where the boss is transitioning, and make sure that you taunt from each other on 2 debuffs from that ad. When you have 1 debuff, make sure to chain cooldowns because he hits very hard. Use heroism in this phase if your DPS can't kill the ads fast enough. In phase 4, you spread out as hard as you can. Don't stand on those mines, that's really important, that's the main cause you will wipe on. Tank the boss in the middle, spread out, because every ability will do pulsing AoE damage to anyone near you. Kill the big ad that spawns, kill it as soon as possible. When the tank is Mark of Chaos, he can move out again. But he will spawn 8 orbs that move randomly in the room. The raid cannot get hit by those. Burn the boss down as soon as possible. That's it for the abilities. Now for our strategy. We found out that movement is the most important part of this fight. We made our ranged and healers stack together. except for phase 4. Each time a mine spawned, they all had to move from that position. In phase 1, the boss gets tanked on a blue marker. Range starts on cross, you can see it in the start of this boss fight. And we slowly move down till ranged is on blue. In phase 2, the range places mines from blue to the orange. In phase 3, they pick a random marker on the side of the room and they group up on that marker, and then they move clockwise each time a mine spawns. In phase 4, you just spread out. Good luck on this fight, guys. This is a very hard fight. Yeah, I hope you like this video. Share it, like it, and subscribe. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Mines incoming.
Ja, het is vast.
Ignore the next
bosses.
Widow.
I'm falling back.
You guys
Now.
healing cooldowns?
Do you have all that?
Guardian
It's
Spirit
2
on
seconds.
Guardian Spirit on Jarst. Guardian
Not
Spirit.
bad.
Yeah, the mines now. That's
Guardian Spirit.
really important.
Yeah, I'm popping in.
Okay, don't.
I got
No
no
cooldowns on
It's
cooldowns.
loading in 2. It's loading now. Substitute, watch out.
Healing cooldowns, healing cooldowns.
Watch out for oops. Watch out for oops.
Kill it.
Down.
Wing drop and Joseph.
That's okay.
Easy mode. Good job.
Alright, what I guess. Out of the
Good
job.
Nice.
Nice. Shrek, motherfucker.
Oh, the trinket! Holy shit, it's so good for us.
Feels like.
We're in
Did
charge of progression.
it drop?
Oh, nice. We just said this guy's just normal.
Two shit.
Oh, two of them.
And two.
The fucking
Mattress
best seats as well though, holy shit.